speaking of relief, let's talk about federal tax relief here as well. That especially the federal taxes that really hammer so many of you small business owners out there. So great right now to have Brad Close, the president of the National Federation of Independent Business, the NFIB, now with us here on Montana Talks. Brad, great to hear from you. Thanks for joining us this morning here on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, Aaron.
Well, we've been talking a lot about taxes because, here in Montana, we cut taxes and we cut regulations and we cut red tape. And boy, they got so much revenue. We got even more of our money back thanks to that. Tell us what's going on at the federal level right now. I know Senator Steve Daines, our Republican senator, is working hard to make tax relief permanent for small businesses. How much is this small business tax relief in jeopardy right now in Congress?
Well, it is a big issue for small business, but I sure wish we had Montana's governing philosophies out in Washington, D.C. We'd be in a lot better shape fiscally in the country, that's for sure. But it's a 20% deduction that most small businesses are eligible for. It was designed to make sure that small businesses across the country could get a tax break that brought them closer to parity to their larger corporate competitors. And being able to deduct 20% of your business income each year is a significant benefit to small businesses. It allows them to keep more of their own money. And after all, we are talking about their money, to keep their own money in the business, to hire, grow, buy equipment, whatever they think is best.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned revenue because I already see the Democrats here in Montana. They're saying, oh, well, if Republicans do away with this property values-based property taxes, they're going to push a sales tax. It's like, no, we don't need another revenue collection source. Right. When we cut taxes, we increase revenue. That's what happened when the Trump tax cuts went through. We dramatically increased revenue and we brought business back to America, and we allowed small businesses all across America, which are the backbone of our economy, to keep more of their own money.
That's exactly right. And the key thing with this provision is when small business owners are allowed to keep more of their money and put it back in the business, they spend that money in their communities. It doesn't go anywhere else. It's their money. They use it to hire, create jobs, maybe increase benefits, but the equipment they buy for whatever business they're running, that's all bought locally. So it's a huge advantage to the economy. Not only does it bring in more revenue for the government when people are allowed to keep more of their money and spend it, but it also benefits lots of other people in the community.
One of the things when it comes to business organizations or chambers of commerce is there's good chambers and there's not so good chambers. But the NFIB, and what I found with some of these chambers of commerce is that they're so desperate to increase their membership that they no longer represent the actual commercial businesses in their communities, some of them, right? Yep. Whereas the NFIB, you're all about representing small businesses.
We are. And what makes us so different is our members set our policy agenda. We don't sit around a table in the state capitals or in Washington, D.C. and decide what's good for small business. Our members tell us, and then we go fight for them. We don't have any publicly traded members of NFIB. You have to be an independently owned business. And we cap our dues also to make sure that no industry, no region, no state can dominate the organization. It really is a ground up member organization.
I'd imagine too this 20% small business tax deduction, it's set to expire. When is it set to expire? So when does Congress need to act to make sure that it's set to expire 2025, right? But they can take action to keep it going sooner.
They can and they should. We're starting to see that small business owners know that it's going to expire in a couple of years here, and they will start to adjust their spending and their growth plans because of it. When they look at what they are, being able to save because of this deduction, for big companies, it's not going to seem like much money, but for a small business owner, being able to keep a few $1,000, $5,000 or $10,000 more in their business is a huge tax provision. But they know if this goes away at the end of 2025, they're looking at a massive tax increase in 2026. So we're trying to drive that message home to Congress, tell them, don't wait, act now, make it permanent. You really will help small businesses all over the country by doing that.
Yeah, and I know, especially the small businesses in some of the blue states out there. The red states are doing much better economically. Montana, we led the nation in economic growth in the first quarter, but even our small businesses here are struggling with labor shortage issues and things like that. So you affect their bottom line, that could put them out of business. But especially in those blue cities and those blue states where they're already just hanging on by a thread because of the rougher economic conditions they have there. This could be make or break. This could put them out of business.
This could, and you are exactly right on the hiring point. I mean, this provision for a small business could be the difference between being able to increase wages to attract employees so that they can better compete with large businesses, or being able to keep some of their employees they've had for a while, but aren't able to pay as much as they want to.
Brad Close, the president of the NFIB. Anything else you want to tell our listeners here all across Montana with about a minute or so to go?
Well, we think small business is the lifeblood of America. They create most jobs. They're half our GDP. So if you get the chance, shop local and go to a small business. And if you're a small business owner listening, get educated on this. You can go to deduction.com to learn more about this and find easy ways to contact your legislators. But this is a big deal. And if you don't know if you benefit from this, look at line 13 on your 1040, and that will tell you, and that will show you the size of your deduction.
So increase your tax bill by 20%. And you'll know how much this means to your small business. That's
a great way to do it.
Yeah, it's kind of like that $2 calculator that our former Democrat governor was telling me about yesterday. Well, I broke out that calculator. I'm getting more money back from my property tax rebate thanks to the Republicans than I would have gotten from any of their little multiplier changes or anything like that. All right. Brad Close, great to have you on the show. Thanks for all that you and the NFIB does for American small business. I know our friend Evelyn Pyburn at the Big Sky Business Journal is a big fan of the NFIB as well. So thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you, Aaron.